All right, guys, we are going to go and look through our starter decks for Soviet. So here's the Soviet starter deck. So let's jump in and take a look at what the starter decks are that you get. So for Soviet, actually, let's jump in and look at the cards that we will unlock with Soviet. So if we go look at Progress, Soviet. So the first 7 levels is our goal. And so we're going to unlock 42nd rifles. I believe you already have one of those in your collection. Maybe not. I can't remember. But this is a super good card with that ambush. And it fully repairs itself at the start of your turn. So we'll count for that when you're using it. If it can survive to the beginning of your next turn, it will heal itself completely. And that includes any buffs that it's received. So if you buff this guy up to a 15-15, for example, in a big counter-offensive deck or something, it will heal back to that level once the start of your turn, if it's still alive. The hammer is just a great removal. It's a staple card, very good meta card to have. 6 damage to any ground unit, so that's really good to get. No surrender, not going to be very useful for a new player at this stage in the game because you're not going to have enough cards to give this any value. You need a lot of different specials to make a good tokens deck, and you're not going to have them. So this card here is one piece of the puzzle, so you can get the puzzle started, but the no surrender is not very useful. The 845th Rifles is great. This unit is one that will heal your HQ for all the damage it takes. So you want to, if you play this guy out on curve, you'll get less healing earlier in the game. But later in the game, when you're going against the big units that are really buffed or just bigger, stronger tanks and things like that, this guy could potentially heal you 5 to 8 to 10 healing, depending on what the other unit has. So sometimes you just run this guy into a huge unit to get the extra healing. KATYUSHA has a staple artillery. You're going to want this unit in your decks for sure. Soviet decks still run this guy, even since the nerf. It used to be a 0 operation cost a while ago, and even with the 1 op cost, it's a very solid artillery. And then we got the KV-1, just your just a solid guard, big heavy guard. Not very common to get played in higher ranks, but at the lower ranks, this is a lot to deal with. The 4/6 stats with the heavy armor. And then we're looking at Cuban Cossacks, good solid infantry. It's your elite that you get as reaching progression 7. It's a 3 deployment cost with a 0 operation cost. So for 3 credits, you blitz it out to the front line or blitz it out to trade for a unit, get good value on it. It has smoke screen, so you can put it out on the support line if you want to just hold on to it there for a second. And it can't get attacked. It could get removed with an order, but it can't get attacked because it has smoke screen. And you pair this with Zhukov, for example, and you could pull this out, and for 1 credit, you play Zhukov, and you pull this out of your deck, and you could deploy it for 0 and blitz up for 0. So for 1 cost, you could actually get really huge value on this if you pair it with Zhukov, which is a common thing you'll see in the higher levels of play. So those are the Soviet cards that you're going to unlock with progressing through Soviet. Now the Soviet deck that comes with the game when you unlock it is Soviet Germany. This isn't bad. Not a bad combination. Sudden strikes are good. I mean, the German cards are good. They have not bad, right? I mean, you got some blitz and you got some big heavy units and stuff, but it's not. There's something about it that I just don't like, to be honest. Using Germany as an ally, I have tried it out before, and I just find it just doesn't play as fast as I want it to play, and so we go with Soviet and Japan. I mean, using Japan and USA as the allies is really my favorite thing to do with these starter decks, because I think that with USA, you get some really great cards, really good units for removal, and especially if you unlock the first 7, you got the Mitchell, you got the B-17, you got the Mustang, and with Japan, you got lots of really good burn units and buffing units, and Soviet suffers with card draw, and Germany suffers with card draw. So the reality is you need card draw, and so I think Japan offers that with some Rising Sun. Like I've said before, though, when you're using an ally nation with this dependency of having the unit in the front line, it is difficult to pull off all the time to get the value. These can sometimes end up as bricks in your hand because you don't have any Japan units to bring to the front. So we're doing our standard Soviet deck here. The Burning Sky to take out some airplanes. We're going with the 1-drop with the 0 op. We got the 1-drop here with the Blitz that replaces itself with the light infantry, so that's great. Type 93 for the +1/+1. Air superiority, 1 damage to a unit straight up, but if you have a plane on the board, any air unit on the board, it'll deal 3 damage. And we do have a few planes, so we have a good chance to get good value out of this. The Bloody Sickle is a good card, as I've said before. This is a solid card. Deal 1 damage, draw a card. 15th Cav, whoops, jump there. 15th Cavalry, solid card with the 0 op cost and the Blitz. So again, fast moving, right? We're really looking for speed. We get the KATYUSHA as an artillery with Blitz, very fast. The T-70, really cheap costing tank with 3 damage. The BT-7, whoops, the BT-7, cheap costing tank, 2-2 with 0 op cost, super great stats. This is just like Panzer 35T in a way. Like, it doesn't have Blitz, but it's got the 0 op cost with the same stats. So, I mean, it's a pretty good tank. Then we got the Akita Regiment, which, as we know from the other videos, 2 damage on destruction, so you usually get good value out of that. We got the 42nd Rifles in here, the SU-76. So the 42nd Rifles, I said, I don't think this is a starter card, and I put it in after the fact. But so unlock that and get it in there. And this is a gold card for some reason. So I don't know if I got that from the progression or from a pack, to tell you the truth. If I would have got it from a pack at the beginning, then I sort of cheated you on this little starter deck, but you at least get a copy of this from the progressions. And I don't see, yeah, so I only have the 1 copy, so I guess it's the one from the progression. SU-76, deal 2 damage to your own HQ, but as I've said before, super strong unit with the 1 operation cost, the 5 attack. It's friggin' awesome. No other way to describe it. Super aggro type of card. I love it. From the people to deal some damage, some removal. Amphibious Assault for some removal. 2nd Rifles for a bit of guard. 10th Guards Regiment. Don't like this card at all, really, but it's kind of the best of the worst from the starter deck perspective. As you can see, I have Cuban Cossacks here because I've already unlocked it, but we're not using it and we're not playing it. So we're not there yet in terms of showing the deck. And so there's our zeros from Japan. I really love the zeros. And this gives us the deployment effect, and plus gets some extra value on the air superiority if it gels out at the timing, so that you could do that. And the T-34 1942 with Blitz, a nice big tank. Some options you do have in here are not here yet. I actually thought you got some other cards with the starter, some of the other planes. I guess you don't get them with the starters, the Hyans. I think that's going to change though. Anyway, that's what we're going with here. I'd be curious. Obviously, I can't redo the experiment because I've already completed everything to level 7, but I would be curious to maybe do another account and just experiment with using a Soviet-USA combo. But for now, we did go with this deck, and it plays pretty good. Deck code's down below, so feel free to copy it. We don't go 100% with this deck because we're at the later ranks, but we have some fun. We win some good games, and we do lose some good games too. So let's go ahead and jump right into the action and watch the games. All right, let's jump into the action with our Soviet deck. So Soviet starter deck, here we go. So we're doing with Soviet Japan ally. Like I said, I think Soviet is has a bit of an aggressive archetype you could leverage, and I think combining that with Japan makes a nice little potent deck. So we're ranked 19 now with this at this level. So, you know, breaking out of those first 5 ranks into past rank 20 into the teens, you're going to start to see a few more elite and special cards. Your opponents are going to start having different cards because by now people have gotten packs of cards from different ways and unlocked the cards and stuff like that. And so you start seeing more of a variety. So the game gets more challenging. And Soviet's a difficult one, so we'll see how it plays out. I mean, obviously we get there. That's why the video's on. But I don't remember how many we win or lose. But we definitely have the potential to lose one here because Soviet is challenging. It really is. Again, Soviet is a lot like Germany in a sense that it has a few really strong archetypes, but from a starter deck perspective, you're missing a lot of cards to fully complete either one of those decks. And so, you know, we're kind of doing what we can with what we have to create a bit of an aggressive style. I really believe that in the earlier gameplay, these earlier levels as a newer player, aggro is really going to be your friend because you're just missing so many cards to do control. If you are a control style player and you prefer that, you can definitely find some ways to pull it off, but it's a lot harder for a new player in my opinion. British requires a lot of specials and elites to pull it off. Soviet requires a lot of specials and elites to pull it off. And those are your 2 strongest control nations, I think. All right, so we're just going to keep playing down here to go wide. And the potency of these Soviet units, these tanks, like they don't have blitz like Germany does, but on the inverse, because of that, they have higher attack stats. So every chance we get with these tanks, we want to smack them in the face. Just hit face as hard as we can every time. The 3-1 infantry gives a good trading value. We're not too worried about if that's ever going to hit face or not. If it does, that's a bonus. But that 3 attack is just a nice trade-off. So right now we're looking at Britain right now, common turn 3 play, turn 2, turn 3 is the albacore, depending if they have it or not. It's a 2-cost bomber that deploys, deals 1 damage and pins a unit. All right, so we're going to go wide here again. We put down the 5-3. Love that Su-76. It's my favorite Soviet tank. Deals 2 damage to your own HQ. Who cares? It's just so strong. Turn 3 on curve like that. The 5-3 tank. Oh, there you go. That board is too much for British to deal with. And that's because Britain is slow. Like, if you don't get early guards, those 2-cost and 3-cost guards with Britain against a deck like ours here, you're dead. If we get our draw off fast with aggro, because it's just too much to deal with. All right, so really good starting hand here. We got the Naval Brigade to start off. Oh, we got the 321st. That's a better start. No, it's not. We play the 6th Naval first because it has a 0 op cost. So we put that down. There's our first card threat. Now the 321s. Yeah, I don't even think I would play those yet next because the BT7 has a 0 op cost. Getting these 0 op cost guys down early is really useful. We'll do that and we'll go plug up. So we'll hope he doesn't have a way to deal with that with an order. I mean, like, I want him to trade. Hopefully he just attacks and trades. That's way good value for us because we use a 1 credit card to kill a 2 credit card. So he just maxes out his credits and gets the big 6/6 body down right away. So that's a big threat, absolutely. So I think what we're gonna do is adjust the volume. And you know, a little volume check there. So we could actually blitz up the Akita is good because he does extra damage. And this is kind of a face race in a way, in my opinion, because when I see that 6/6, I'm worried about bolster. I mean, he's got breakthrough cards for the breakthrough set, which means he might have bolster the ranks, which makes that a 10-10, which is freaking scary for our deck. We don't have a lot to deal with a 10-10. So we need to keep the frontline pressure so that he can't push up and advance on us. It does cost 4 credits for him to use that unit. So we got it from the people. That does 3 damage. That's handy. So now when he attacks us, he trades, which is good news for us. All right, so we got to hit that end turn button. So turn 4, we've got him down to 8 damage, 8 health rather. We've done 12 damage. Still scared about bolster the ranks, especially now that he's given it heavy armor. But he has to attack and kill us. He's going to lose the heavy armor there. If he was planning to attack with the 6/6, he should have done that first because he would have got less damage. Yeah, so if he would have attacked with the 6/6 first, the heavy armor would have shielded 1 damage away. So that was a misplay by him. Not that big of a deal probably, but definitely a misplay. So we play as many units as we can, plug that front line again. The nice thing about these infantry is that when he kills them, we're going to get a light infantry on the support line to push up again next turn. So it allows us to continue putting frontline pressure, or at least blocking the front line. I mean, light infantry hardly put on pressure unless you buff them, but it at least plugs the line so that he can't push through it. So he's got Nakshub. Nakshub is a really good card because whenever he kills one of our units, he gets 2 extra credits returned to him. So huge value on that. All right, so we're in a bit of a pickle here. I mean, he could, with that Nakshub value, he could do a lot here. I'm going to kill our guard, and the Stuart lives with 1 health left. Can kill that. So look, he's got 6 credits left still. So we really just need to keep pounding. We're hoping that we got 2 zeros in our hand, so that counts for 2 damage. So we just need to figure out how to get 2 damage on that HQ so that we could win with our zeros. Yeah. Put that down. Ping. Do we ping the HQ here, or do we take out one of the units? We go big with the 7/5. It gives us some defense. I like that play. We know that we're guaranteed the deployment effect of the zeros, and I think putting that 7/5 down, he's going to want to kill that. So he can kill all 3 units, trades off his Stuart. So this is good. It's good in the sense of the trading value because we had the line plug. Again, the Tiger IH, way too expensive. Oh, and we just top decked the T-34. So that's good. And now we will go in and ping 1 onto his HQ. So, I mean, he needs to kill the 7/5. Now, we're in a good spot now. Him having to play that Tiger H, that's only 1 unit, and it costs 3 to operate. gives us a huge momentum swing. If he can't kill that zero, we win right off the bat with that. Okay, he suppresses the zero. He moves up the tiger. He's got 8 attack on that tiger. I mean, we're not out of the woods yet. Oh, top deck. That doesn't work for a zero, unfortunately. So this allows us to do 1 damage. We get the 1 ping, and our other zero in our hand will win the game. So even if he kills that plane, we win. Unless he has some kind of healing. All right, so he's feeling pretty good right now. Plays out the B-17. I got your zero, no problem. And we're going to go GG right now. Beauty. All right, all right. So, did he pass it over? He passed it over. Let's go. Zero for them. Double checking. No countermeasures laid out. No credits floated. We're safe just to play the zero and finish them off. Beauty. GG. So that's really how the deck plays, guys. Aggro, aggro, aggro. And then if you lose tempo like that, we're looking for cards that do burn. And right there, the zeros won the game for us. All right, we get to level 2. We unlock the hammer. Great card. Put that in right away. All right, I didn't put it in, but you guys put it in right away as soon as you unlock it. It's such a good card. All right, we're rank 19 still. We're playing against Vicaro. Here we go. All right, no 1-drops. So we pass the torch back to our opponent. And he has no 1-drops. Germany, no. Oh, the way he turned that over so fast, I thought for sure he played a careless talk. All right, so that was good. We survived. So now we can hopefully get on the board and do some damage. We need to start punching them. Too bad we don't have our 0 op cost guys, because they would help us. Okay, we get the 1-drop. That's good. Just the point is, like, to keep the flow of units on the board. Push the front line, attack the HQ. Always having reinforcements coming from the support line, if you will. Always having the replacements and reinforcements coming up and pushing hard so that you don't lose frontline control. Losing frontline control with this deck is really, really the end of it. So we play the Su-76 so that we still have 1 credit left to attack. If we would have played up with a 15 cav, we wouldn't have got the best credit efficiency. You want to maximize your credit use. And getting the 5-3 down is just freaking awesome. So here is good. So he trades off his 2 units, and now we got 1-5-3 going up to hit face, and we got another Su-76 to sit in the back line ready to replace. So he floated 2 credits, so that could be a missing. We test for a... Okay, so we used the 1-cost infantry there. I know I played that fast, but I'll tell you what I did. I used the 15th cavalry to test for countermeasures because he has 2 credits left. There's from the deep that would kill a unit when you deploy it, cost 2 credits, and there's missing, which would kill a unit when it moves to the front line. So the 15th cav tested for all those conditions, and then we were able to move up and attack with the SU. Right, so okay, so this time he used all his credits, so there's no... We're not worried about any countermeasures, so we're just going to go with the SU, hit face. Again, we're in the same situation as last game. We need to find a way to do 6 more damage here so that we can get our zeros down to win the game. So he hits and he can move up with that one and block the front line, but our light infantry can kill his tank, and then we can hopefully go hit face with our SU. Hopefully he plays like a 5-cost airplane here or something so we can pin it and draw a card. Oh man, can't be targeted with enemy orders, right? So that's the big guy there. All right, so we get the blitz infantry is good. He didn't move up to the front line, so there we go. Like, look at the big push into the front line. The thing our opponent is missing here is he's not recognizing the style of game that we're playing. You have to recognize what your opponent's doing. He's got to see that we are going so hard front line hitting face. We haven't even attacked his units yet because we don't care. Who cares about his units? We don't care. We're hitting face the whole time. So what he should have done there was take the front line away from us, right? You got to take the front line away from an opponent that's playing aggressive like this. So a little tactical advice to help you guys out there. So in this case here, we use the 0 to take out that tank because now he has nothing on the board to kill even the light infantry. He's got to do something to spend credits, either blitz out or use an order. He's got to kill the 0. He's got to kill that tank, and he's got to take away the front line, kill that light infantry. Like, he's got way too much to do here with 8 credits. And he just did the math, and game over. GG. There we go. Had he taken the front line there with that tank instead of playing that big expensive 6.5 tank, depending on what else he had in his hand, obviously, we don't see his cards, he may have had a better control of the board there to slow us down from hitting face. But GG. And again, I'm just making assumptions. When you can't see your opponent's cards, it's easy to judge it. Maybe he actually just was in a jam and had nothing else to play, but just in general. All right, so we're going against Counter-Terrorist here. Sergeant Counter-Terrorist, rank 17. You'll notice the card back is the beta card back, which means this person has been playing for well over a year, minimum. And they will likely have a lot of the cards. So they're playing Soviet France mobilized deck. All right, so that means that they have a lot of cards because France is not something you can build up very easily as a new player because they're the Allegiance and they're only Alliance. There's no base packs for them or anything. There is base packs, but they're random. Like it's hard to get those cards early. Long story short, we're playing against an experienced player. So we need to ping that guard there and get rid of that unit, that infantry. We need to get rid of that. And because of the mobilize effect, we need to kill it. And interesting that we don't. We do 7 damage to face. So we're putting face pressure on this guy. That's interesting. Like I said, these games are pre-recorded, and I don't remember exactly how I played every game out. All right, so now we have our amphibious assault, so we can kill that guard now. I think that's probably how I plan this out. Let's see here what I do. Yeah, so now because he's still 3 attack, we can kill that guard. We can move up. 5 more damage to face or kill the artillery. Good idea to kill the artillery that time. I like that play because artillery is just going to mow us down if we don't take care of it. So he's got a 3/5 fighter there with ambush. Nothing we can do about it. So we're just going to put the responsibility on him to attack us, hopefully, and trade with us, which is great. He does, in fact, trade with us. All right, so can we get the Su-76 down right now? I'm not sure. So both his units have ambush. That is definitely difficult for us. I mean, we got a lot of damage in early, but I'm still pretty skeptical here. So we just keep hitting face because we can't cover the ambush. That's really what the problem is for us right here. Another ambush. Yeah, so this is going to be a problem. So he trades off 1 plane, hits the Akita. Oh, we're so close yet so far. These blitz units, keeping the front line pressure is saving our butts here. But so he can kill 2 of them. And we don't have our zeros like we've had the last 2 games. Last 2 games we had 2 zeros in our hand. That helped us close out the game. I mean, we really need to... another ambush. So he's going all ambush here. Men of Steel plus ambush. Wow. So he can kill us and doesn't even take any damage. So we're running out of gas. There's 1 0. That's good. We definitely need to put that 0 down, I think, so that we could hit face from the support line. And we're just hoping he doesn't have a burning sky. If he's got removal for that 0, we're dead. If he can't kill the 0, obviously we're good. If he can kill the 0, we're in the world of hurt. Oh, so he puts a guard down. That's just as bad. Well, that's a big guard too. The force 4 attack and the heavy armor. This is a tough spot. Not sure how this is going to play out. Don't feel good about this right now. At the end of the day, we're holding in and doing a pretty good job here with our starter deck against a lot of specials. Oh, the Red October on the ambush is almost a GG. That's brutal. Oh, air superiority is nice. I think don't do it. Don't do it. That's an ambush fail. That guy's going to heal. So I just wasted the air superiority, I guess. Yeah, I misplayed that one like crazy. That was a horrible turn. Pretend you didn't see that. Because there, see the 34th Infantry heals at the beginning of the guy's turn, so he's got that big artillery down now. Our 0's dead. Oh, look, our 42nd Rifles, rather. Not 34th, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. We have nothing to deal with all this ambush. Ambush pretty strong against our starter deck. GG. We only ever played the 1 French card. This is interesting. All right, so here we go. We move on. Rank 18. We got the 1-drops. We got the SU-76. So that's a good curve right there when you got the 6th Naval Brigade because the 0 op cost, then right into the BT-7 with the 0 op cost, right into the SU-76. Because what that really means is as we're playing units out, we could operate our units from the previous turn because they have a 0 operation cost. So that's the idea here. And I'm not sure how far along we are here. What rank are we now with Soviet? Level 5? I didn't catch the update on that last game. All right, opponent, you got 4 cards in your hand. Let's go, mulligan. All right, let's go. Are we good now? He's playing. 4 cards. What are you going to start off with? You either got a card that costs 1 or you don't. Play it or don't. The difficult decisions on turn 1. Send an emote. Prompt this guy to make a move. What is going on? All right, I'll probably fast forward some of this stuff here so that you don't have to sit here and watch me watch this guy waiting for a play. They're either disconnected or they don't know how the game works where you have to hit the end turn button. All right, we get to play now. So 6 Naval Brigade down. Okay, hopefully our opponent's starting to play here. I mean, kind of have to include these games into the video because the whole point was to show getting the first 7 levels. If we have guys that disconnect or quit right away like this, then there's not much we can do about it. Sometimes players just get a really bad hand to start with. It's part of the game. It's the RNG, and then they give up and they rope you. And it's not cool. It's pretty unsportsmanlike in a way, but I give this guy the benefit of the doubt that maybe he disconnected or he's just trying to figure out what to do. He is ranked 16 at this point, so he knows how to play the game by now. So I'm going to put the... I'm going to lean towards we're getting roped here by somebody who drew a really bad hand. So, like I said, we're playing down our units, the 0 operation cost, so we could use all our credits on the next turn to put down the SU-76, and we're just going to go and hit the face. But the reality is, if the opponent doesn't respond on the next turn, there will be an auto-surrender because of the mechanics in the game. After 3 turns of no activity, it will auto-surrender you. So, Staff Sergeant Straka, your name has been noted as a roper or a disconnector. One of the two. Either way. Alright, so this should be now a auto-surrender. I think that's 3 turns of doing nothing. So, boom, there's the auto-surrender. We win the game and we advance. We didn't get to see the deck play out. We had a super good starting hand. Akita coming out next with the 5-3 moving up. But, hey, there we go. Alright, so we're only at level 5. More games to come. So, we'll just skip over that one. And that's all part of the journey. Getting roped is part of the journey. Don't do that to people, though, guys. Just surrender. If you really don't like what you're seeing, just surrender and move on with your life and let the other person move on. Of course, if that was a disconnect out of your control, then my apologies. But disconnects are really rare nowadays. They've really fixed a lot of those issues. So we got 2 BT-7s we're going to keep. Keeping from the people's a good idea. The Bloody Sickle's a good idea. Bloody Sickle does some damage and replaces itself. BT-7s with a 0 op cost. And really, the Sickle is our 1-drop in this case. So, hopefully our opponent plays a card so that we can get our Bloody Sickle value on turn 1. And hopefully the card only has 1 health. Okay, well, a 1-3. Less than ideal. I mean, we could Bloody Sickle it. I don't know what I'm doing with the BT-7. I think we go with... stop touching the BT-7. It costs too much. Here we go. 15th cav down. Notice we don't blitz to the front. Why not? Well, he's got an infantry on his front line. So unless he has a Panzer 35 right now, which is the risk, he is going to move that up. It's an infantry. It moves slow. So he moves it up. Cost the credit to move it up. Why give him credit efficiency by moving up and letting him attack us from his support line? It just gives him credit efficiency. So this way, we get credit efficiency by forcing him to spend his credit to move up. And by the same token, we don't kill his unit. So now we're saying to him, spend your credit to attack us or to hit my HQ for 1. I don't care. But I'm not going to attack you because I can't kill you right now. Because I wanted to get my BT7 down. That cost 2 credits. So now next turn. Okay, so here we go. Perfect. Now I kill him. And I use my bloody sickle to finish him off. I don't lose any of my units because my 2-2 killed him. So if he would have seen that, he would have attacked my 2-1 to know that I would have had a mathematical advantage there. And now we get our Japan unit in the front so we can draw cards. Choosing to draw instead of playing the other BT7 in this case, because we do have 2 cards plugging the front line. Even though Germany has a lot of blitz, you know, and we don't have a lot of blitz. We just have our Akita sitting there. But that was a bit of a math lesson there. I think like, you got to calculate, like, what's your opponent going to do with the units they have on board, right? I mean, I'm not going to attack with the 2-1 infantry and watch it die. I'm going to do it this way. So now we got better value out of all of our units, right? The BT7 did damage to 2 of his units instead of just 1. All right, so what do we do here, right? We know we could, from the people, we have Akita. All right. So again, we just go wide using our credits to deploy units, and we put the decision on our opponent to attack us or not. This time he attacks us, and unfortunately the Akita hit his HQ instead of his unit. If it would have hit his unit, then we could have finished that off with the BT7. All right, so this is going to be a 0 to kill that artillery. I think that's a good play. Because his 3-4 cannot cover... He can't cover the ambush. So that's a good play. And now he can kill our BT7, our 2-2, and he gets good value. That's a great value trade for the opponent. Because his unit's still alive with 2 health. Alright, so we got a... what was that? Burning Sky in our hand. There he goes. He hits face. All right, we got a couple options here. So the Type 93 gives us enough juice to kill that infantry. We're able to deal with the plane, with the Burning Sky, and I don't care about that Panzer 35. We will face race him with what we have on the board versus what he has on the board, and win that race with what we see so far. Eagle Claw would suck right now because he would kill a lot of our stuff, but it doesn't remove the ambush. An order does not remove ambush. Keep that in mind. You do have to attack a unit to remove ambush. So now we got bloody sickle value here, and we can move up our light infantry. And now our light infantry's dead, so whatever, but we still get bloody sickle. And we get blitz. So that's a nice top deck there off the sickle. Put that down, and I think we want to hit phase. See, we wanted to plug the front line, and it cost too much to do it, unfortunately. It would have been nice to get the Su-76 down to be able to move up with a hard attack on the next turn, but credit-wise, we just didn't have enough credits to manage that. Plugging the front line is more important right now because our 0 is just ripping up his HQ while he's trying to figure out how to get at it. If he doesn't get a Sky Barons or a tactical strike, he really doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with it. So the infantry can attack, but it doesn't move. Okay, now he can blitz up with the tank. And he can kill our light infantry if he wants. But then we're just going to kill it with our other 3-1 infantry next and hit the 0. And actually, I don't even think I want to kill it with that. I think maybe we use the use our order here. As I watch this replay, I don't know what I do, obviously, but I think using our order to kill the tank so we can move up to 3-1 is a good idea. So getting the 42nd Rifles down is good, like we experienced ourselves. Ambush is a pain. So we just go with going wide with units and then hitting face. He does only have the 4-4 infantry, so unless he gets more blitz tanks, we have good control of the board here. So we're going to go ahead and hope that he can't deal with all these units. We got 4 damage from the 0. And if you can't kill the SU, because we got the order from the from the people and our infantry to kill the 4-4, and then our SU wins the game. So he's pretty much toast now. GG. Yeah, so from the people, he does his job, and smack phase, game over. Good game. Good tempo control throughout that whole game. No misplays really either way, I don't think. I think it was just a well-played game by everybody, and we just ended up getting the upper hand. So that brings us to rank 6. So one more game, and we'll be done with our Soviet starter deck. Well, one more game if we win. Actually, maybe even if we lose, because the you get a lot of XP even if you lose. So that's a really bad mulligan. We get rid of everything. So we got a 321st Rifles. That's great. It gets us a starting card to put something on the board. So we're going against Soviet, and it's a rank 20. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to be a full meta tokens we're going against. It's probably going to have a lot of the similar cards that we're playing. It'll come down to maybe what his ally is and what order he gets his cards in. Alright, so we got a Rising Sun. And the same situation like I described in the other video when you had USA as an ally with your Shermans. There's a requirement for these cards to give you the card draw that you have the front line with specific nation. And when you have that nation as your ally, it makes it a lot harder to pull that off. Alright, so this case here, we hit face for 2. We got a good board down there right now. We hit face for 2, forces him to trade on us. Hopefully he has to trade his tank. Like, it's a risk that if he has another way to deal with it, that he can push forward. Because what I'd really like to do on the next turn, I think, is put the Akita to the front so we can get the Rising Sun value. And that'll take all 4 of our credits. But the card draw is pretty important. So he's got a Germany. So he's a Soviet Germany ally. He has sudden strike. Kills us. So we're still able to do what we wanted to do, though. We're able to kill that tank for free with our light infantry. And Akita to the front. And Akita gives good value with the destruction damage. Alright, so we got a Burning Sky and an Air Superiority. The Air Superiority is really nice. If we get the 0 down on curve next turn, maybe. Depending what he does. And obviously he's going to have Burning Skies too, so he's going to be able to kill our 0 pretty easily, I think. So when you're in a mirror match like this, I mean, it's effectively a mirror match. We have a different ally, but at this stage with the decks the way they are, level 20 for new players, like, you're basically going to be working off very similar card set. But he goes to Germany, and, you know, Germany and Japan, I think, could be just as effective as allies for Soviet. The idea is really working on the aggro part of it. I prefer Japan because it has the burn and the deployment effects instead of the blitz. And you even get the blitz with the Akitas and stuff, but I really like what you get out of the Akitas as a starter deck. Alright, so we're able to deal with that. And now we have Air Superiority. With a plane on the field, the Air Superiority will do 3 damage. So hopefully he doesn't have his Burning Sky in his hand. The way things go, he probably does. But if not, that'd be great for our Air Superiority value. Alright, well, he must not have the Burning Sky, because if he did, he would have played it by now, because that would be a snap play. Just play it out and kill the plane. The 4-4 with ambush. Alright, so he's got the Ishak. That on destruction is going to produce a replacement 3-2 fighter. So we have Burning Sky to kill that one. Air Superiority to kill that healing unit. And we're not in a rush to kill that 1-2 because we don't want it to get replaced. We want him to spend the credit to do it because it's going to replace with a 3-2 plane, and we don't want to deal with a 3-2 plane right now. So we got the T-34 with... Oh, the surrender comes in hard. All right, good. Good board control. I think if he would have found his Burning Sky, he would have been able to deal with our board. I think the plane was really a difference maker. And that's it. So one more win. That was almost there. Almost enough points to get to rank 7. So here we go. One more game. Against British, against God. All right, so we got a good hand to start with. Here we got some 1-drops, 2-drops, but hopefully we can start doing some damage to his HQ really fast, because against Britain, that's definitely an obstacle. With the mid-game, we don't have a lot of mid-game at all with this deck, so it's kind of an all or nothing in that early game. But I think nonetheless, this will probably be the last game, win or lose, to get to the progression level 7. And that'll be an achievement, but we'll just see how this goes anyways. Here we go. So we got the 15th Cav out in the front line right away. That's a good start. So we'll see if he doesn't have an albacore, depending on what he's playing. No. Okay, so he plays the 6-pounder. I think it's a 2-pounder, actually. And so we're going to have to deal with that. We're going to have to kill the artillery. Or else he'll just mow us down. Does +1 to tanks. Not good for us. Alright, so trading 1 for 1 there. Oh, and he comes out with the Kitty Hawk right away on turn 3 with the Kitty Hawk Elite. He's already unlocked all of his progressions for Britain. So he has the Kitty Hawk. We're able to deal with that with the From the People. So still going 1 for 1 here, which is really bad for us because we're not doing any damage. And we need to do damage. Trading and trading and trading with this deck is not going to work well for us. Alright, he comes down with the Hurricane. Alright, we got the second rifles. Not bad. We have a guard, so we can block the Hurricane with the guard. Or we play out units and force him to trade, maybe. Play out that. Yeah, in hindsight, I don't really like that play because that 1-2, he can trade off that for value. So he can kill that and get value because he doesn't die. So that's what we mean by value. He can get more than 1 kill with his Hurricane. Probably would have been better just to play the guard and leave the... I mean, playing the 1-2 with the guard would have probably been the better play. Take initiative. So he's got some breakthrough. So he's got a more advanced deck than we do, that's for sure. So, I mean, losing against these higher level decks, guys, you can't really get bothered by that. It's all part of the climbing and experience. So if we do lose this, I actually don't know if we lose, but I mean, right now it's not looking too bad. I'm just saying in general, if you do lose against these higher level decks, you know, take it as a learning experience and don't get frustrated. You're going to have a mixed bag of higher power decks and lower power decks and even decks that you go against. He played Take Initiative. At least that gives us card draw later on. And Take Initiative is not actually bad value when it comes to the card draw you get off of it. So he plays the 1-5. It's not a very good guard unless he buffs it up. Okay, he gets the bomber down. So he should have put the bomber beside the guard, in my opinion. I think that would have been better to protect the bomber. Cup of tea. So, I mean, that does some in a resolute defense. So he's got lots of buffs in his hand. So he's using the British guard and buff sort of archetype. And he's only down to 2 cards. So that was most of his hand. So that might be a good thing for us. But we do have 10 health. We got to ram through there. That's a lot of health. It's going to slow us down a lot. We got to take out the bomber because he doesn't take damage back. We'll put down our biggest unit, just 7-5, which could help make light work of the 210. But I don't know if he's running naval support or something like that. He'll be able to make that a 10-10. And if he does something like that, we will be in a world of hurt. Oh, the Royal West Kent. Okay, so that's even worse. Well, it's not worse, but what that means is when a friendly ground unit is attacked, when a friendly guard unit is attacked, it deals damage back equal to its defense. So that means when we attack that 2-8, it's going to do 8 damage back to us. So if you look at our 7-5, where we're thinking we're going to get good value on that to hit a couple times, it's not going to happen anymore. So we do 3 damage from the people, getting rid of the airplane. I don't think that was a good play. I think that I should have gone after the Royal West Kents, start wearing them down, because I think if we get another from the people, we could kill it. And I think that guy there is going to cause us a lot of problems. Okay, so he goes for card draw. Not great for us that he gets more cards. He gets another card draw. So again, not great for us that he gets more cards. It's okay for Britain to use up a whole turn drawing cards. He gets another guard down. So again, when we attack that 1-5, he's going to do 5 damage back to us because of the Royal West Kents, which we wouldn't have any way to deal with anyway. So if we would have done from the people, that thing would be dead actually, because the Akita just chipped it. That's frustrating. Definite misplay. I definitely should have went after the bigger threat, because he would have traded his Hurricane into our units anyways. So we didn't really have to worry about the Hurricane. I think I overreacted to the plane. Now he's got Osaka down. This is just getting worse and worse. even having him down to 8, and he's got resolute defense again. That's just a standard, so that's only 2 out of 4 of those. He's going to have more of those in his hand, or in his deck anyway. Plays down another bomber. So he's got all the swordfish. That's a non-standard, like a non-starter card. So he's got quite a few cards that we don't even have in our collection yet that are limited and specials. Haven't seen any elites yet. I mean, not sure what to do here, really. I mean, there's not much we can do. He's got so much force coming at us with his guards. I mean, the only good thing is that the West Kents are in the middle there, so they're not... We just got to get rid of one guard to be able to hit the HQ again. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. And odds are he's going to draw more guards and continue to put that guard pressure on us. Attacking that guard is just dumb, really. I don't know why. I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I definitely should hit the Osaka guard since it's the one guarding the HQ right now. I mean, we're still a long ways off from a lethal here. Yeah, that was another misplay there. That was bad. I should have hit the Osaka. Don't know why I did that. That was just a bad play. I think I'm just thinking reduce their defense so that their attack is less, but realistically, the Osaka is the big threat right now because he's guarding the HQ. I mean, we beat down the Osaka and force him to attack with the 2-5. Ooh, Gladiator on top of it all. So that puts a precision... Is that the Gladiator? Or is that the Manchester? So that put a precision bombing in his hand, I think. Which means while that's alive on the board, he could just... Basically, he's got a hard removal of any card on the board. You won't be able to use it right now because it costs 4. Oh, an Imperial Order on top of it all. So yeah, we're just dead. We don't have enough to kill that thing. So it's just a matter of time now. And Godhand likes to give out the emotes, eh? People like to give out the emotes when they're winning, and when they're losing, they don't generally give as many emotes. The fighter will block the bomber from attacking, but it doesn't matter. He still has the precision bombing in his hand, so he's going to be able to use that to kill the Zero if he wants. So he doesn't have to trade his bomber to kill it. Yeah, this sucks. Would have liked to end the video on a win, but oh well. What can you do? It's a good learning experience. A couple of misplays in there, but I'm looking at the cards that he had coming down, and I don't think any of the plays or decisions I made really would have changed the outcome. He had that Imperial Order in his hand. So I'm not sure if I would have got the Osaka killed, if it would have made a difference, or if I would have even been able to kill it. So he's taking his time now. Pretty sure that he's got precision bombing. Yeah, that's what he got. So he uses that there instead. I don't know, I probably would have used that on the Zero, but he's probably not too worried. So he moved the guard up. He must have another guard in his hand then. He wouldn't leave his HQ exposed. Plays the bomber. And we get more card draw. So, realistically, I think I should draw cards here first and see what I get. And I don't think hitting the bomber is really useful because he's going to be able to kill the Zero now anyway. There's superiority. Chip away at it. And killing the Royal West Kents is irrelevant at this stage in the game. We really need to... and we have to trade our whole hand into that. Saving the take initiative, we'll have to use that probably first thing next turn. So again, I guess unless he's going to have more guards is the thing. So I don't know. I think it's 6 of this, 6 of that. I mean, if I don't kill the Osaka in the front line, it's going to just kill. He could have killed the Zero anyway. If he has another guard, he guards, and we can't hit the HQ. Imperial Order. Oh my gosh. So he only attacks with 3 though. Well, I mean, he attacks with 4. So now he can kill the Zero in one hit. So I really need to basically hit face, top deck a guard to protect the Zero, and hope he doesn't have any more guards. It's really what this comes down to. And I don't know if I have any more guards or not. I think I only had 2 of those guards in the deck. I'm not sure how many we played so far. So he leaves his HQ exposed. Well, Rising Sun, that's crap. We don't need that right now. Another Rising Sun, Burning Sky, Amphibious. So that was really bad card draw. I mean, we killed that guy, big deal. Be nice if Akita could hit face, I guess. We can Burning Sky the bomber. Oh, we get another that hurt. I mean, we're just dead, right? I mean, he can't. He's going to be able to kill. He's going to be able to kill the Zero, no problem. Obviously. So I wonder what would have happened if I would have hit face instead of hitting the Manchester earlier. Then he would have had that 6-4 bomber. He would have used the bomber to kill the Zero way back then. I'm not sure if that would have made any difference. The Zero's only still there because he didn't attack it. Another Take Initiative. Take Initiative's getting expensive, but we're drawing lots of cards. I mean, we need... Jeez, what do we need? We need Akita to hit face. He's got too many units on the board now. The chance of Akita hitting face is only 25%. So you have 2 Akitas. If they both hit face, we win. Alright, well. Wow. What do we have here? Yeah, we need the Akitas to hit face, and we have the... Oh, and he hits him straight up. If that would have hit face, we could have potentially procced the KATYUSHA for the win. So now we have one more Akita, but now he's going to have a whole bunch of units down. So the chance of the Akita hitting the HQ is going to be even less. It's too bad. That would have been fantastic for the Akita. Maybe I should have done that in the other order. Well, I only removed all his units because I did the card draw, so I wouldn't have had enough. The Imperial Order doesn't really mean anything. It's another guard. We don't care about the guard at this stage. We need Akita just to hit him in the HQ. It's really our only chance. Oh, and he gives the health to the unit instead of the HQ. That was risky. Well, if Akita hits the HQ, we have a chance. If not, GG. Nope. Oh, well, it's game. And that hurt again. Seriously? Boy, he loves those emotes, eh? And we're going wide with units, hoping that he just attacks units and not the HQ. He's a little bit of an arrogant player, so the way that he's doing his emotes. So I think there's a chance he might want to just kill all our units for like ultimate authority. And if he does that, then it might buy us another turn. I mean, we desperately need an Akita, and we need the Akita to hit face. So we may have played all the Akitas so far, so I don't even know if we could top deck one or not. Might be another KATYUSHA in there, because I don't know how many of those we've seen so far. Running out of outs. No, no good. Well, that's GG, I think. He's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Yeah, he's got 12 damage on board easily. So that's it. That's GG. and we'll make it even easier for him. Whatever. That's too bad. I think I just misplayed handling that Royal West Kents earlier. So I think that's educational for everybody. Might have been a couple of misplays along the way, but this was definitely a tricky game. He's got lethal. Okay, so he had lethal. He could have ended the game, and instead he's because he could have gone 5, 8, 11. He had 11 damage with his units there, and he just didn't do it. He's prolonging and being a BMer, and that's fine. You're going to run into a lot of those playing this game. In any card game, really, people get salty or people get cocky and arrogant. And when they're winning, they act like that, and when they're losing, they're all salty and babyish. So, I mean, it just is what it is. All right, well, anyway, tough game. Too bad we couldn't end on a win, but that takes us to level 7 for Soviets. And the deck plays okay, but keep it in mind, as you move up the ranks, the starter decks are going to face more challenges and be a little bit harder. So keep that in mind as you're playing through. Anyways, good luck. Enjoy the starter decks.